All right, guys, it's that time of the week. Time for our weekly NFL predictions. Week 16 is almost upon us. The week of Christmas, the season's winding down. Games matter more than ever. So it's just the best time of the year. It really is. And you guys hopefully know the drill by this point. We're just going to go through every game, pick who I think's going to win, and then review how we did the week before. And guys, as always, make sure to comment your opinions. But without further ado, let's get started with our Week 16 predictions. We start with Thursday Night Football, as we always do. This time, it's my Jags playing on Thursday against the Jets in New York, or East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is a very interesting game. Two teams that have their playoff hopes alive. The Jags, with their great win over the Cowboys, and the Titans lost to the Chargers. They're just one game back in the AFC South. If they run the table, they win all three of their remaining games, they are guaranteed to win the division. They're streaking at the right time. The Titans are kind of collapsing. They've lost 4 in a row, guys. As a Jags fan, I never thought we'd be at this point this season, but the Jaguars have a legitimate chance. I'm going to pick them to beat the Jets. Obviously, I'm biased, but I think Zach Wilson's starting this game. You know, he's going to have some trouble. I mean, he hasn't played well. Trevor Lawrence is just rolling. However, it's going to be heavily raining from what I heard, so this could be low scoring, could be ugly, but I think the Jags find a way to win this game. They're just playing a lot better than the Jets right now, and their division hopes are alive. We move on to the Battle of the Birds. Falcons and Ravens on Saturday. A lot of the games are on Saturday this year, or this week, because this year, Christmas is on a Sunday, and we don't want a majority of games on Sunday. We just have a few. Falcons and Ravens, kind of an ugly game. This is probably going to be Tyler Huntley versus Desmond Ridder. Desmond Ridder did not play well in his first career start last week. They lost to the Saints. I'm going to go with the Ravens to win. Kind of an ugly game. Low scoring, I think, but the Ravens being at home, being the better team overall, I think they win this one. Lions and Panthers, how about the Detroit Lions? They're also playing phenomenal football. 6 out of 7 wins, coming off beating the Jets in dramatic fashion. They face a Panthers team that has never been good all season, and it's just a great spot for the Lions. They have a pretty easy remaining schedule. If they win all 3 games, you'd like to think 10-7, pretty good shot at making the playoffs. The Lions have a chance, guys, and I think they're going to beat the Panthers in Carolina in a very important game for the Lions and the Panthers. Only 1 game behind in the NFC going south, but I think the Lions are the better team for sure in a feline battle there. And then we have the Seahawks and Chiefs. Seahawks, their playoff hopes are still alive, but they're running into a buzzsaw in the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead. I definitely think the Chiefs find a way to win this game against a bad Seahawks defense, albeit a pretty good Seahawks offense, but no Tyler Lockett. And at the end of the day, it's Patrick Mahomes. It's the Chiefs. I just don't see it happening. I'm going with the Chiefs. Then Saints and Browns. Deshaun Watson got his first win as a Brown last week against the Ravens on last Saturday, back-to-back Saturday games for the Browns. This is kind of an ugly one, but I'm going to go with the Browns to win this one at home. I'm going to give them the home field advantage, the dog pound advantage to them. Saints have been an ugly team all year. Frankly, this could be an ugly game. But I think the Browns, they have their playoff hopes alive, as well as the Saints. Both teams have slim playoff hopes. A win would be nice for both teams, but I think the Browns are maybe slightly better at this point. Nick Chubb probably is going to have a good game, as he always does. So I'll go with the Browns, mainly because they're the ones playing at home. Kind of a toss-up game there. Texans and Titans. All right. Texans have been in a lot of close games, but they do what a lot of 1-12-1 teams do, and they could not finish the job. They play the Titans on the road in Tennessee, but from what I'm hearing, Ryan Tannehill might not play this game. He's injured. We could see Malik Willis, who hasn't proven too much as a starter. He could be good, but I don't know how immediately he will be good. And the Titans, the guys, they're just collapsing. They've lost 4 in a row. Maybe it's my Jag bias, but I think the Texans are due for a win. It wouldn't be fun without some upsets. I'm going with the Texans to win this game in Tennessee. At least I hope that's what happens. But they're due, guys. They're due. They took the Chiefs to overtime. They took the Cowboys down to the wire. They've been putting up points on the board. And I think the Titans are worse than both the Chiefs and the Cowboys. So that logic tells me the Texans are due for a win. So I'm going to go with the Texans in a shocker. Kind of. Relatively a shocker. Bengals and Patriots. Patriots coming off the most dumb loss ever. Jacoby Myers, he owned up to it, but really just what was he doing? Bengals are rolling. Might be the hottest team in the NFL right now. Patriots, it's just not going to happen for them this year, guys. That's the honest truth. I'm sorry, Patriots fans. I really am. Tough loss, tough season. Coaching staff just hasn't been good this year. Bengals win this game, I think, relatively. It is in Foxborough, never easy, but I think the Bengals get the job done without too much trouble here. Vikings and Giants. Giants with a big, albeit controversial win over the Commanders. Now they face a Vikings team that just came back from a historic 33-point deficit against, of course, Matt Ryan. But I think the Vikings are the better team. I'm going to go with them to win at home. I think the Giants, they were kind of a fluke considering that they were 6-1 at some point. They're probably a playoff team, but I think the Vikings are better. Vikings play well at home, and that offense will be tough to stop even for a pretty good Giants defense. Bills and Bears, interesting matchup between two young, promising quarterbacks, of course, Justin Fields and, of course, Josh Allen. Bills, they have a lot to play for still, even though they've clinched the division. They would really like the number 1 seed over the becoming rival Chiefs. They definitely, if they meet them in the AFC Championship, they would love to have that game be in Buffalo for sure. So I'm going to go with the Bills to win against a much inferior Bears team in Soldier Field. Then we have, or is it still Soldier Field or did they change it? I think it's still Soldier Field, but Chicago regardless. Commanders and 49ers. The Commanders fighting for their playoff hopes, but the 49ers, considering how surprisingly well Brock Purdy has played and how great that defense is, they're going to give Taylor Heineke a lot of trouble, and I think Brock Purdy's going to keep doing what he's been doing. So I'm going to go with the Niners to win this game at home. We move on to the Eagles and Cowboys. This could have been a very, very interesting, maybe game of the year if the Cowboys had beaten the Jags last week to stay within 2 games of the division. And if Jalen Hurts were healthy, but Jalen Hurts probably won't play this game. Gardner Minshew will. He's one of the best backups. As a Jags fan, I think he's fun to watch. I think it'll still be entertaining. He can do well. But the Cowboys, they need to win out, and the Eagles need to lose out for this division to be won by the Cowboys. I don't see it happening. And I think the Eagles actually get the job done on the road. Something about Gardner Minshew, man. That guy, he's a big, game quarterback. He's kind of clutch. Rises to the occasion, not afraid of anything. And I think the Cowboys might be a little demoralized after that loss to the Jags, knowing that the division could have had a chance to be won by them, but now it's probably over. I don't know. I just think the Eagles are the better team than the Cowboys and as a collective team. So I'm going to go with the Eagles to win. I don't think they're definitely not favored. I just like them in this game. I like Gardner Minshew. I'm a fan. Raiders and Steelers. Raiders, slim playoff hopes, 6-8. Steelers, also 6-8. So slim playoff hopes. Mike Tomlin, if he loses one more game, would have his first losing season. So does he have his first losing season with a loss to the Raiders? I'm going to say no. I think the Steelers win this game. I think they win it at home. I was going to say the Raiders, but I heard this game is going to be really cold. I think that changed my mind a little bit. Steelers are playing well, especially defensively. I think Derek Carr, a not very mobile quarterback on the road in the cold weather he's not used to. I'm going to go with the Steelers to win this game in an ugly one, gritty one, and defensive battle, I think. I think the Raiders are going to have a difficult time establishing their offense in this situation. So I'm going to go with the Steelers. Dolphins and Packers. This is a big, I would say, must win for both teams. Packers basically have to win out if they want any chance at making the playoffs with their 6-8 record. Dolphins are fighting for a wild card spot. It's really up in the air. The game's in Miami, and I think overall this year the Dolphins have been the better team. They've lost 3 in a row. I think they're better than that. I think they're due for a win, and I think they will knock the Packers' playoff hopes out of the picture. I think they will get the job done and stay in the wild card hunt. I just don't think Aaron Rodgers has been nearly as good as he's been the last couple years. I don't see him going into Miami and winning this game on Sunday. By the way, we are officially into the Sunday games now, the 3 games on Christmas Sunday. I think the Dolphins win this one. I really think they have a great home field advantage with the shade being on their side. I think they're the better team. I think they beat the Packers. Broncos and Rams. man, what a game this was on paper coming into this year. I bet you when the schedule makers made this Christmas Day matchup that it was going to be must watch. Two potential contenders, but this game absolutely is completely meaningless. Do we have Russell Wilson? Do we have Brett Rippon? Does it matter? No. Do we? Yeah, so what? Come on. And Baker Mayfield, this could be low scoring. This could be ugly. I'm just going to say it will be. I plan on watching other things, but I will go with the Rams to win at home. Why not? I'll give it to them because of the home field, even though, SoFi usually isn't dominated by the LA team fans. But still, I don't know. I'll just go with the Rams. Baker can win a game. I believe it. At home, maybe. Don't know. Buccaneers and Cardinals. Another game that would have been great at the beginning of the year when we looked forward to the Christmas games. But it's not meaningless because the Buccaneers are winning their pathetic division. But for the Cardinals, it's meaningless. They have Trace McSorley, the third string starting, who might be better than Colt McCoy. I'm curious to see what he does in his first NFL start. But the Buccaneers are reeling. They're not playing well. You know what? I'm going to go with a little mini Christmas Day upset. I think the Cardinals win this game at home. I think Trace McSorley has a pretty good game. They win kind of an ugly game. And yeah, this is another ugly game. But I just don't think the Buccaneers are playing well at all. And on the road, I think the Cardinals are due for a win. They could use a win. I know they want to win just to kind of something positive toward the end of the year. So I'm going to go with the little upset there. Then we conclude with Monday night as we always do. Chargers and Colts. Colts, they're horrible. And they're going with Nick Foles to start over Matt Ryan because they're just trying to do something. I don't know what they're doing. But I'm gonna go with the Chargers. Chargers are playing well. They're in the playoffs now. They're in the wild card. They're gonna do anything to keep it, and it's not really much of a challenge. But they're not gonna let the Colts. They know that they can't afford to lose. Every game matters so much. They're gonna do their best to win. And Jeff Saturday has not done a good job. He's only won one game, and it was the first game. And he clearly, I don't think he'll be the coach next year. Definitely not. Don't see it. So yeah, that concludes it, guys. Finally, before we go, as always, how did we do last week? Well, last week, we were pretty decent for at least my standards this year. 10-6. And our overall record is 121-89. So, not bad. Let's see how this week goes, the week of Christmas. And guys, definitely, as always, like I said before, make sure to comment your opinions. Subscribe if you haven't already. Why not? And hope you guys have a great holiday season. Happy holidays to you all. Love you all. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoy this week of football. And I'll see you all in the next one.